I think before last year, the value of a chatbot to the consumer was reasonably high. It was it replaced search in a sense for some people, for some tasks, but it was more information gathering as opposed to information finding necessarily. It allowed you to go deeper. That is not a particularly monetizable use case for AI over time, especially in the enterprise, which, as we've seen, can ramp a lot quicker than the consumer for the use cases that AI is best at. But then when coding was unlocked, I think that that can drive a lot of really efficient spend and worthwhile spend, high margin kind of revenue for these model companies. And one of the ways I think about it is, I think the numbers are there's roughly $1 trillion of software and services wage spend globally. And if you think about that, really the gating item on that spend was supply, not demand. There weren't enough software developers, there weren't enough service providers to really increase that spend. And one of the ways you saw that was, I think, wages in India over 3 or 4 years in the early 2020s, from call it 2021 to 2023 or 4, I think they like doubled or tripled, right? Because there wasn't enough supply. They just had to go find anyone that could code and bring them into the ecosystem. With the advent of coding agents and AI's proficiency at coding, now you're no longer supply constrained. And so let's say in reality they spent $1 trillion, they would have rather spent $2 trillion if there was a supply of software developers available. That's a really big TAM. And then the other piece is these software developers, maybe they're not coding for 6 hours a day effectively. Maybe it's 24 because their agents can run 24/7, or they have multiple agents and so they're more productive. And so you can kind of make the argument that $1 trillion should have been $2 trillion. With productivity, that could be $6 or $8 trillion. So the TAM is there, and it is a really kind of monetizable use case, and that's part of the reason you've seen the labs ARR. So if you think about, they call it annualized recurring revenue. I don't think it's recurring necessarily, but let's say for this debate it is. It's about $100 billion. And to go from, at the end of last year, 30 trillion to 100 trillion $100 billion in the middle of this year, it tells you there's real product market fit and there's real demand. And the margin should be there, especially because the margin is really betting on Moore's law, that effectively semiconductors will produce tokens cheaper over time. And that the lab's algorithms will get more efficient. So if I just step back, that's the bull case, is you have this use case that is potentially trillions and trillions of dollars of value to companies, and they're willing to spend. That, I think, is what the hyperscalers are pursuing. The bear case on this as a bubble is that might be true, but what if the economics don't really accrue to anyone other than the enterprise? And so if you have to believe the labs are the marginal buyer of all the data center capacity today, the frontier labs, that could be problematic if open source comes along and negatively impacts their margins because open source is good enough, or the Chinese models are good enough, or the hyperscalers can develop their own models, or models switch in a way that really takes economics away from frontier labs that are really financing this build out. Maybe that's a much more challenging place to be, and you can make a bubble argument that even if eventually you get to a good spot, the build out's happening too fast relative to the lab economics, which are compressing. So I think that's kind of the push-pull, is this is a really valuable, really big use case, but there needs to be economics to support the build out, and we're in the early stages of seeing them.